Praises Campbell, Natata nZambi ya Mazulu, King Fumo Kyakuisa, nZambi Mawesha, nZambi Akabenisha, nZambi Monene, Betwabu Bana Betu, Bayete Nkosi, Kwakwisi Ambote to another teaching. All praises, Campbell, hallelujah. I honor all of you that are doing Tata nZambi's work, the Most High of Truth, King Kongo, hallelujah. I honor all of you that continue to push forward in this tough times as many things are unfolding and we're getting closer and closer to some things that are going to be happening. I hope that you wikichala. Again, kukwisi ambote to all of you. All non-Bana Betu scattered to the four corners of the earth. And non-Bana Betu, we give honor to Mfumo Yisu, and we give honor to Tata nZambi and Mfumo Yisu kuswakomo mandevelela. The Moyen Peve and the Moyen Sami, Mandan Sami of Tata nZambi and Pungu. We give honor to all of the righteous Nkoluntu of the Pemba Kalunga, the heavens. We give Assalamu alaikum Makongo, Kemba Hallelujah. We honor all of the Bana Betu tribes, the descendants of Aban and Sakayokubi across the world in the land of Africa, Kachopia. Some people here Akibilan, that's fine. We give honor to all of you who are continuing to push forward. We can see there are major changes happening even as we speak. I'm going to talk today about a topic that's going to really, it's going to be, and I hope it stays up, but it's going to reveal some things that the world is not going to always accept. But it's because there's a reason why they have hidden so many things. You know, you always see when people say, oh, someone turned up missing that revealed some information, or you see people who are meant to be gagged or not allowed to speak on certain topics. But today we're going to talk about what it is. All praises on Kubase, Imano, Imano Masari Seto, Saku Panja Nzinga, Kembo Kema Tukanzami Mazulu, King Fumo Kyakuisa, nZambi Mawesha, nZambi Akabenisha, nZambi Monene, Zambia Mpungo Father, Akongo Yahweh, Matone Masasi for this time that wants to come before the people. We give honor and Kembo to you as well, and continue to help us to grow in our knowledge and understanding and wisdom. Nakome Bene Yahweh Kongo, Inget Hallelujah. We're going to start with the song. Once again, I don't own the rights to this song. It's only for this channel to be used as edification and not for the purpose of any redistribution of any kind. I came on a little later than I wanted to because I was trying to figure out how to relink the images that I lost when I made this song from the other computer after it crashed. But I'm having a hard time, so I might have to just rebuild the song and go from there. But I just have to get the images back. But I'm going to be still playing. It's uploaded to my Facebook, so I'll go ahead and play it off of that. So bear with me just for a moment. Oh, praises, Kimbo, Tata, nZambi, hallelujah. Nzambi mawisha, nZambi okubenesha, nZambi mpungu, nZambi ya kwatulendo, nkulu kulu, modimo, sonina, samana, tayo, Tata nZambi. I'm going to read what they would call the Shema, Yansemu, Deuteronomy, or as we in the Kikongo, Bible, it's one Zola, one Mamosi. Israeli, Yoka Malamu, Yahweh Azali nZambi Nabiso, Yahweh Azali Kaka Moko, Okolinga Yahweh nZambi Nayo, Namotema Nayo Mobimba Mpe, Namakasi na Nyoso, Tika Etem Mibeko Oyo, Mapesi Yo, Lelo Ewomela Kati, Namotema Nayo. Oko Teyaka Yangu na Bana Nayo Tangon Ozali na Ndako, Tangu Ozali Katambula na Nzela, and this is in Lingala. Tangu Olale Mpe, Tangu Olamuki, Kanga Yangu na Maboko Nayo, Loko la Bilembo Mpe Tia Yango na Ilengo Nayo, Loko la Ilembo Koma Yangana Mokonzi ya na Ndako Nayo Mpe Nayo. Now they call it, this is the Yas and Samu, because it means the light, is what Samu means. Okay, Bayeti and Kosi, we're going to do a teaching today on a very in-depth topic. Why are we having such a hard time showing the world the truth? And it goes back to the fact that there's a reason why history has been rewritten. There's a reason why knowledge has been modified, why many things were made up, and many people have been deceived. Excuse me. We talk about Babylon, Mystery Babylon. We talk about the religious portion of this world and why people will not let go of certain doctrines that they feel has been written accurately, but fail to understand that if you have the truth, then you have power. And Golo comes with it. So, you know, many people have rejected religion because of the simple fact they see the hypocrisy. There are those who further to embrace it because they think that they're being attacked. I had this conversation with someone today or the other day. He said, what is it about the problem? Oh no, the sister, she said, the issue with telling people this is that they think something bad is going to happen to them if they change what they believe. And see, the issue is, and this is what people aren't understanding, people have thought that what we're doing is rejecting scriptures. And the problem is, that's not what this is. What we're saying is, in 1485, when Rome came to the kingdom of Kongo de nZolele, and this is why they cover up the history, the people that they found there did not need to be taught Christianity. This is the lie. Because we already knew more than they did and could do the things in the scriptures better than they could. Okay? Meaning, we didn't need them to teach us. We already knew what to do. So it's like we're telling you, it's not that we're teaching you something satanic. What we're saying is, you have gotten played by the people who told you that we didn't know these things. Because when we were taken into captivity, or when our kingdom was destroyed, the narrative was we were nothing but heathens that were worshiping a pagan god, and all of our religious practices were pagan. Now, here's what people don't understand. Okay, the kingdom of Kongo de nZolele was already protesting the Catholic Church because we were tied into all of the things that Rome was doing when they didn't even know who the creator of heaven and earth was. They were still calling on Zeus and Jupiter at that time. Okay. The narrative that has been given to you is that the God Yahweh, as what was called by the Jewish people, okay, that our people didn't already know this name. They're even telling people, oh, it was made up. No, like you see in the one I just read, the Lingala, it says Yahweh. Okay. What people don't understand is that the letter W, I'll even do a research on it. When did the letter W start to appear in the language? Okay, or it was actually pronounced in Latin, W, and then because English was written, the V was written as a U. That's why they had an issue with that, because you had the letter U and then the letter V that was written as a U, it became double U. So it's double U's, as in two U's. Okay. So we say, when the letter W started. When was the letter W created? All right. So we're going to talk about this, and I'm on this website. It said, where did the letter W come from? It says, have you ever wondered where the letter W comes from? This unique and intriguing letter has a fascinating history dates back to ancient Proto-Indo-European language. So the letter W is a European letter. So that means it didn't even have its origins in any Hebrew language, or Phoenician, or that matter, or even in ours. Okay. In this section, we will explore the origin of the letter W and how it has evolved over time to become an essential part of modern language. Okay. It says the evolution of the English alphabet, and this is going to show you why that his name could have never been Jesus, okay? And it's also going to show you, we knew that we spelled that name with a Y, Yesu, and there was no Jesus because, and this is what they have hid from you, is Bana Betu of Bana Betu of nZolele, 500, 2,000 years ago. We knew the difference between Jesus Christos and Yesu Christu. From Yesu Christo Kongo, Yesu Christu. Yesu Christu was the one that we call the Chiluba, the Bana Betu of nZolele, okay, Abantwe, and his followers were called Abantwe, which means literally translated people of the way. Now, there are people who are calling themselves the people of the way even now, but they're doing it in the language that is now called English. We already knew how to speak. See, this is a lie of everything. When we were speaking in the Kikongo and Lingala, we knew how to speak Aramaic, we knew how to speak Greek, and we knew how to speak Roman, Latin. We knew these languages. We knew how to speak Babylonian, okay? We even knew how to speak Phoenician. This is why the world does not want us to people to know too, that the Bana Betu, the Bantu people, we knew multiple languages long time ago, okay? This is a history that has been hidden, and I'm going to talk about it as to why that is has to do with the kingdoms that have always been warring against each other between Lucifer and our kingdom and all the other ancient inhabitants going back to the days of the beginning of creation, and why the historical record seems to be that it is altered has to deal with a kingdom that vanished, okay, or made itself vanish. I'm going to go back to what happened with Jonah in Nineveh, okay, and all these guys I'm going to tell you, if I can pull it up, and hopefully it'll let me, I'm gonna show you that the gods of Nineveh is known even in the Atlantean religion, okay, of Atlantis, okay? So now you see here, before we understand the letter W, it's important to take a closer look at the overall English alphabet. Now, the English alphabet did not originate with the English people. The Anglo-Saxon, the Angloid people, it was a derived language that actually came from other um, cultures, okay? What many people don't know is, of course, the majority of Europe for the last 22,000 plus years or more had a form of Latin that would evolve into different, you would have the main Latin, which would be Rome, which would evolve into the Latin-speaking tongues of Portugal, Spain, and France. However, the more closely connected language to English would become Aleman or German, which was a derivative of another language, but you see the Austrian, when you go all the way back to Nordic tribes and you go all the way back to Ural Mountains, there's a connection there. Okay, the what they would call the Germanic tribes were actually a group of people who transitioned to the place where they lived in Germany from the East, because prior to all of that, all of the land was based off of the names of many of the children of Japheth and their ancestry, as I've shown you on the map. Gomer, Ashkenaz, Togarmah, Tarshish. Okay, these names were in effect for quite some time until the Greco-Roman modifications came into play. That's why they erased the knowledge of the Etruscans, what the Greeks were called before they were called Greeks. It's going to be, people don't even know that, because the Greeks were actually a portion of the mixing of, how should I say, Hamitic and Japheth tribes. That's why many of them were actually dark skinned. That's why you'll see, if you look at many women, and I knew this because I saw them, you have many women from Greece that have, I'll see you say, features that resemble, or they have body types that resemble Hamitic tribes, just like we see. That's very common in Italy, because that's why one of the customs that's very much alive, if people say it's still there, that you have a woman with a nice round rump, and they pinch it, and it's supposed to be a sign of, um, respect, I guess. And it goes back to the inclusion of where many of the Edomites migrated from when their kingdom started to crumble after the attacks that took place with Bana Betu, because people don't understand that's part of the reason why Saula got in trouble with Tata nZambi. Okay, when he said, you need to go with many of these tribes, and people don't understand that Esau, contrary to what people want to tell you, because it's all part of his delusion, his mother and father were melanated. So they know that part of the reason why his children were mistreated by many of the children of Japheth and other people is because they knew they were darker skinned than they. Because many of the children of Japheth, because of the way that they were interacting with the gods that they worshiped, when they know this, were in fact modified beings. This is why they covered it up in X-Files when they showed you that that's what happened. But these gods, and then I'm going to talk about why, you see the Navy fighter jets, they go and they start chasing these UFOs and they say they dive into the water. Okay, because they're going to Atlantis. They open the portal and they disappear under the waves. And so they're showing you, in effect, the UFOs don't really come from any other place. That's why they want to hide the fact of the land behind the others. They don't want to say there's any more land, because everything is about two kingdoms. The kingdom of Lucifer has the different species of entities, including the Atlanteans and all the other so-called races of so-called aliens that they want to talk about. And we, Bana Betu, nZolele, we were the ones that were responsible for eliminating the threat to the children of Noka. Because Tata nZambi, part of the reason why, and I put this in my Facebook, everything was about the revenge of what he did for the destruction of the offspring of the Anunnaki, in addition to the Nephilim, in addition to the Watchers, when he was purging the abominations that were destroying his that were bringing chaos to his creation. Okay, so the biggest lie that many Christians don't understand, when they keep saying, oh, God is love, Jesus is love, okay, they forget And this is how you know they take your brain out when you go to church. If you go to court and you're a Christian and you face a Christian judge, is he going to say, I'm not going to charge you with any crime and I'm going to forgive you because we're both Christians? No. Okay. If you broke the law, you're going to face the judge and he's going to give you some kind of a sentence if you're found guilty. And this is going to be your result of your fine. You're going to pay your fine if you broke the law. But for whatever reason, and this is why I know people have been deceived, you think that this is not how it happened among our people, the descendants of Aban Sakayoki Kubi, where all of a sudden Tata nZambi is not a judge anymore. He just loves everybody, but his wrath is upon us. Oh, but the Messiah himself never does anything to anybody but love you, which people is like, it's like the ignorance is that that is not even the way that the whole court system of the Most High was set up in his land. And on top of that, the high priests were always responsible for executing judgment and the law. What Tata nZambi was trying to help us understand with Mfumo Yisu is our ancestors continued to be hypocritical when it came to how we were exercising his law, statutes, and commandments in spirit and in truth. Because it's just like when I say, let me tell you how we're dealing with hypocrisy of the fact that this system is wrong because, and this is what was going on with the Sanhedrin. Okay, you're a judge, you're a Christian judge, okay, you come into your courtroom, you're going to be trying someone who is guilty of prostitution, okay? Now, you yourself happen to be in a situation where you were also involved with a potential prostitute, okay? Now tell me, I'm telling you, you're going to find out this happens more than you know, okay? Because of the fact that they're not telling you the truth, what happens behind the scenes. And you'll soon be exposed to this. So what Tata nZambi is saying about places like America and around the world and the Europe and everything else, even in Africa, you're going before a magistrate that's going to charge you with the crime that they themselves are guilty of. Now, you may not know, because if this is one of the reasons why you can know Christians don't have the Holy Spirit, because this is how it would go down if you did. You come before this judge, you happen to be charged, let's say that you were soliciting the prostitute and you got caught. Okay. Now, if your attorney happens to be a Christian with the Holy Spirit, this is how it would go, he would say the judge must recuse himself of the crime because he too was, the Holy Spirit will say, but wait a minute, this judge is going to charge you with solicitation of a prostitute, but he, or even it could be a she, it'd be a surprise, was on the Holy Spirit will say, on the night of this day, this judge was down on this street talking and paid X amount of dollars for a prostitute. Because the Most High, this is exactly what people don't get in our spirituality, in the Bantu spirituality. The Mwanda will give you insight to the person's private life. That's why, people can expose people and not even know they can be exposed, or they can also say, you know, because see, but then this is why Messiah, see, this is what the Messiah was operating on. If you go and you read the scripture when he's talking to the woman at the well. Now, of course, people will say, "Oh, Jesus Christ didn't exist." Okay, that's another trick from it of the hidden kingdom, because Master Guru Esau, Jesus Christ, is the king of Atlantis. But whatever. Okay, he is also called Jehovah, and they know him as Jupiter. And on TV, you know him as um, what is his Marvel? What is his character? His Aquaman. Okay, yeah, because or you can even call him Superman for that matter, because that's really who it is. That's Thor. His name is Thor to the thing. He was known as Apollo to the Greeks, to the Romans. He was, and the Greeks and the Romans, he was known as uh in his original birth was Tammuz, son of Nimrod. Okay. So if he's gonna tell you he don't exist, okay, fine. You believe that, that's on you. However, he made him that he was really in spirit Cain, because that is the so-called Jesus Christ that the Jewish people know, and so do the Romans. They know that the the god Tata is the same as the god Jupiter. Okay, but through the deception that has continued to be put on the masses, Jesus Christos Jesus Christos was a name that existed in the Greek language even before Kongo came to be in the presence of the Bana Betu of nZolele to to put in order the Tula that the Sanhedrin, in fact, messed up. Okay. So the Sanhedrin, contrary to what they will tell you, have a long history with the kingdom of Kongo de Totala, because they know the Money Congo was the title that Tata nZambi used for King Davidi, for Intino Solomon, even for Intino Ahab, what they call Ahab and Jezebel, okay, and for Yarboom, you know, or is it Eleazar, all the kings that came through the Nsaka Yakubi, even in Semu himself, the Nsemu, and this is the thing, Nimrod, when he was with Tata nZambi, was also referred to as a Moni Congo. But when he turned against him, he got a different name. And the woman called him that, you dog. Okay. But the Babylonians would refer to him as, we had the word in Kenge, okay, in Kenge, okay, and then though he would be referred to as Cain, because that's why you say that was, they say that's a historical word for a king. So when you see, and I'm not going to take too long today. So you see ancient Babylonian title for, sorry, king. Ancient Babylonian title for king. See if it'll tell me. Can't always get it. Okay. It was normally referred to as Akkadian. or Akkad would be normally what the king, let's see if we can get this thing to cooperate as far as, some people may know it better than me. Like I said, I never said I knew everything. I don't always, as they have informed me, the time is going to be soon coming that a lot of my memory will come back. It's just not time yet because it's like I said, in this country, people don't understand spirituality at the highest level is extremely dangerous because they know what they did and they're not telling the truth. Okay. So now, when you go through these, so now you're going to see the king of Babylon, Akkadian, Sakanaki, Babili, later also Sar Babili, was the ruler of ancient Mesopotamian city of Babylon and his kingdom, Babylonia, which existed in the independent realm of the 19th century BC to its fall in the 6th century BC. For the majority of its existence in the independent kingdom of Babylon ruled most of southern Mesopotamia, composed of ancients of Sumer and Akkad. Now, here's the problem. And this is where historians, this is why you know that there has been modifications because the kingdom of Cush, remember, Nimrod is the grandson, he's the son of Cush. And the Cushites, this is how you know they changed things. The kingdom of the Cushites is in sub-Saharan Africa. How do we know? Because when they fought the Egyptians would go south, as in technically the map is upside down, but because how they have modified things, because the river actually runs towards into the river comes the Nile River runs into the Mediterranean Sea, coming from down into further down into Africa. Okay, so now the Nile Basin, it's similar to what you see. You see the Mississippi do the same thing. Okay, so the water comes from further down in Africa into Africa, into Egypt. Okay, so now this would have been the technically. See, now they're going to tell you, oh yeah, all of this is going to be in this area. No, because like I said, the Cushites were affiliated with Babylon because they were the grandchildren. They were the grandchildren of Cush, and they had mixtures with Puti, and they had, when of course he started multiplying. Okay, you're gonna be marrying your cousin. You know how it go. I'm not gonna get into all that, but these people are not. If you go back to 19th century BC, okay, this is why they know they're lying at you, because at that time we're going to have a supercontinent. Now, why isn't this happening? Why don't people know what I'm talking about? Why do people disagree? The problem is the war with us and Atlantis. I'm going to show you a video, and they're finally starting to bring it out now. This is how I knew they were going to start to expose this. The biggest reason why many people don't know these things is because of the sirens, the spell of the Mama Wata, all these different things. That's one of the reasons why you're getting people with they control the history, but your memory is controlled by what is coming out in the songs, what's coming out in the air, what's coming out, and whatever you go to sing and believe. People forget that these beings will sing with song, just like the fallen angels can sing. If people understand, just because they're demons doesn't mean they don't know how to sing anymore. Okay, they're singing all the time in Hollywood, and you don't even know this. Okay, but they have covered these things up because, and then see now with the educational system, as I learned, much of your textbooks and historical knowledge, why is it more current and European? And it really doesn't give a whole lot about the other places, is because this is all conditioned to hide what America was before and what was going on in Europe that they covered up. Okay, we have the Philistine god. This goes back to Yona. Why? And there's a brother now, he talked about it when we talked about the pirate that they called Davy Jones. And he said, if you put the correct Bantu affiliations, Davi or Davidi, Yona, okay, with the Y, put the J back with the Y. So it's like the name is meant to be a mockery of what happened with Nineveh. When Yona came down to speak to them about their wickedness, okay? So what was, when we go to uh, the Hammurabi's Code, this is why people don't even understand a lot of this stuff. This is why many of if you go and look at Roman, Greco, you look at a lot of historical records, many Persia, it all has similarities. Even in the American coding system, you're going to see Sumerian connections, Sumer and Akkad. Okay, how you want to know how I know? When you see the people singing the Shema Israel, Akkad, Echad comes from this word, Achad. So this is how you know in the words that they're singing, Echad is Achad. So they're telling you that they are speaking the language of the Talmud, Babylonian. Okay. Now, when you go further down to this historical, what it's saying, the city experienced two major periods of ascendancy when the Babylonian king rose to dominate the large parts of the ancient Near East. The first, see, this is why they want to cover this up, because like I told you, the continents and the whole, this is why they want to keep you looking at modern day maps. They're not going to tell you about the shifts that took place with the earth, that the Most High did things. They want to keep everything modernized so that you don't catch it. I don't know why this thing is not disappearing. Okay, so it says the problem is Sumer and Akkad were in the land of Cush. What took place is the shift when the Most High kicked these people out is when they moved up to what you want to now call the so-called Nile Basin, out of in what they call now Saudi Arabia and those places in Iraq. Because at the time, the structure when the continents were where they were at, there was no place to put those continents because it wasn't there. Those cities, the countries, they weren't there. Okay, so you see, it says Babylonian kings rose dominant large part of the ancient Near East. The first Babylonian Empire or Babylonian Empire is from 1894 to 1859, and the second Babylonian Empire, okay, is this one. So then you have to say, so then the first Babylonian Empire, they're going to put it as if the maps are normal. No, the first Babylonian Empire, the Sahara Desert wasn't even sand. It was a lush environment. And when they coded it was when they put it in the movie, the second Aquaman. The king that he discovered that was sitting supposedly decayed or decrepit is going back to the Anunnaki gods, like Enlil, Enki, those type of beings. Okay. So now many of Babylon's kings were foreign origin throughout the cities, nearby 2,000 years old. It was ruled by the kings of the native Babylonian, Akkadian, Amorite, okay, these are Bible, Kassite, Elamite, Aramean, Assyrian, Chaldean, Persian, Greek, and Parthian origin. A king's culture and ethnic background does not appear to have been important for the Babylonian perception of kingship. Okay, think about that. The important matter instead being whether the king was capable of executing the duties traditionally ascribed to the Babylonian king, establishing peace and security, upholding justice, honoring civil rights, refraining from unlawful taxation, and respecting religious traditions, constructing temples, providing gifts to the gods in the temples, and maintaining cultic order. Cultic. Babylonian revolts of independence during the time that the cities were ruled by foreign empires probably had little to do with the rulers of these empires not being Babylonians. And the mod is gonna help me fill in with this because I know there's more to it than that. The scripture is actually gonna get more detailed about this. If you go to, like I said, you go to the book of Jasher, there's some things more about it as to what was going on at that time. Rarely visiting Babylon or failing to partake in the city's rituals and traditions. Babylonia's last native king was Nabonidus. Now think about it. Nabonidus would be a Greek name because it's US. Nabonidus was the last king ruling from 556 BC to the fall of Babylon under Achaemenid Empire under Cyrus. Now remember Cyrus, why did it fall? And this is going to be part of it. Oh, could it be because some people left? And in great in 539 BC, Nabonidus was the last native ruler of ancient Mesopotamia, the end of his reign marking the end of thousands of years. And Bantu culture, and those who have the histories, they say we went all the way up from Babylon and down 500 years before in that time frame, which they want to keep calling it the so-called Bantu migration. But they're going to say, no, we came from West Africa down. But there are Jews who said, no, we were from Persia and India and we came down. Okay. And this is the hidden history that people don't want to know about. Okay, so why then is there a discrepancy? The discrepancy is this. I'm going to go to Yonah. Now the word of the Mfumu came unto Yonah, the son of Amittai, saying, arise, go to Nineveh, the great city, and cry against it, for their wickedness is come up before me. But Yonah rose up to flee unto Tarshish from the presence of the Mfumu. Okay, let's put up an ancient map. Sorry. Jaffa, ancient map of the children of Japheth. Okay. Now this is going to bring us to this. Now here's, like I told you, this is why they don't want to do this map. Now this was not underwater. Like they want to keep, it was for a while, but then it receded, or ice, as they want to say. Now, I'm gonna tell you why they're reversing this is because they're calling this they called America New Jerusalem when they founded it in secret. When in reality, the best of the land, see, it wasn't even like this. When they say that Samuel had the good land, okay, the good land was in the center. Yapeta had the cold, and this was all hot. Now you can tell this is Crawbridge because the lush forest that was in the Amazon, it resembles the lush forest in Africa. Oh, that's just by coincidence? I don't think so. Okay. You have the same temperature in the Amazon is similar to the same temperature you have in Africa. And so at that point, the people down here, because it was mostly hot at that time, would have been people with a much darker complexion. But the reason why they hid it and see right here in the center and they covered it up because it's not quite squished together is Atlantis. That's why when they told it in the movie, when he found the king that was sitting, when he went and found it, he said, oh, it was, like he said, oh, it wasn't covered in sand long time ago. Yeah, because around this time it was actually jungle. It was actually a utopia. Okay, it was no Sahara Desert there. Like we say, it got cursed because they wouldn't keep running after us. Now, see, this is why they don't want to teach this map because now, where is the Middle East at this time when the land was divided? Where is it? Okay, so now when we go, uh, what's the best map here that's going to give me what I want? Let's go to this one because they always make this up. All right, so now going to show you that technically all of this, so you see Kittim, okay, like I said, Cush. Now, here's the problem. If Nimrod is the son of Cush, why is his kingdom all the way over here? But if you see it, okay, they're gonna say our Pakshad, they're gonna say, oh, but this is the land of Shem. Wait a minute. You know why they're doing this is because remember he was favored by the Most High. So they said, oh, we're gonna only give Shem in our new rendition this only little piece of land when Ham has this whole big continent and oh, we over here. Okay. You see what he did? Okay. Now, when you say he went from Nineveh, okay, if you go by the so-called modern map, Babylon, this is why it makes no sense. This is why it really makes no sense. Ancient Babylon would have had to be what is now the land of Shem. Wait a minute. How could Cush be in the land where Shem is when ancient Babylon, when you have all of these kingdoms over here, where they're showing you where Tarshish is? So then they're going to say that Jonah, he ran all the way from over here where Babylon is supposed to be to over here. This is why people don't know how to read their Bible at all. And they have been, if you go look at the ancient maps, it makes no sense. okay, how they're putting this stuff together. So he would have had to have run from over here up to here, would be the more plausible direction that he would have gone. Okay, because Tarshish, you see, now you say, now why is this all jacked up? Why it happened? Okay, because the biggest problem is, as I will show you, we've been dealing with these jokers right here. I pulled it up. You can actually look at it. I have a picture of them. They're bringing out the ancient African stories. These are the Mama Watas. It's called Mermaid Invasion. Complete story. It's a folklore. They call it folklore because story time, because they're going to say, oh, no, this didn't happen. These mermaids didn't capture anybody to keep anybody captive. Yeah, you know why you don't believe that? Because these are people are in your head going, you didn't see me. You know this wasn't true. No, but then you go to the people talking about mermaid spirits and incubus and succubus spirits is like, well, then where did the incubus and succubus spirits come from that you're fighting against? Where where do they originate? They're water spirits. Okay, if they're water spirits, where do they come out of the water from? You see, this is the irrational thinking that they continue to put in people's heads that they don't that their land doesn't exist. And see, they keep claiming, oh no, the Bermuda Triangle is just no, that's the doorway. That's why I told people the Caribbean, what you now call the Caribbean are the tops of the sunken continent. And see, even in Caribbean tales, they will tell people that they had encounters. That's the whole reason why they call the dance in the Caribbean that's very popular Calypso. Why do they call it that? Oh, could it be because the Bahamas have a name called Atlantis? Okay, Sweet Georgia Brown. This is why you would call her Sweet Georgia Brown. Look what she looked like. Okay, Georgia is another, if you look at the etymology of the word Georgia, and notice she's not a peach. If you break, see, this is why when you don't know where names come from, you're going to find out this is all crazy. Now watch this. It comes from the Greek husbandman, from Gaia. See, it goes, look at this word, okay? Late Latin Gegorgius, from the Greek husbandman, farmer, properly an adjective, tilling the ground, or tilling the ground, tilling the ground. Oh, who had to go till the ground because his land got turned into thorns and thistle? This is why you don't understand the donkey concept. The reason why Esau is affiliated with the donkey, as I talked about it, that's why they want to cover it up, is because he became Anansi, and that's what a donkey was. A donkey was called the bottom. And so when Cain became Anansi, now watch this. It says from Gi earth, see Gaia, that works. From the ergon, now you're going to see the word ergonomics. You see what they're telling here? Work, from the pi root, work or to do. Now, when you look at slavery in the South, you can see now why you were tilling the ground, you were working, you were the husbandman, farmer, okay? That's why they don't understand this whole concept. Okay. Then it goes to the fact of Old English bed, couch, or resting place, which would then go into the next phase of bed wenching, or the stuff that become where the harlots became, they called the nickname for whores a couch. People don't understand these things. The word couch, okay, etymology, it also is connected to the word cushion, because cushion comes from cush. Okay. Many Hamitic tribe women had nice sized backsides. Okay. So now it talks about the fact that it says the name Georgia, as in the Western anoxysm for the country in the Caucasus, natively known as the Sakat Karkatfilo. Now, why is this important? The name Gog, as was broken down by our sister Johnny John, and I give all honor to her for that. She said it comes from the root old mother, or like a grandmother, which now if you go back and look at the movie 10,000 BC, when they were kind of coding this, you saw the people living up in the mountain, and the magical woman was called Old Mother, and the name Gog would have that connection. Okay. Which means if she's a magic person, she comes from a place where magic would have been constant. And for those who know, in Africa, during the Battle of the Mama Wata, they can change shape. They can look different. Okay. They have magic power. This is where the kindoki, the sorcery, the concept of magicians. Where do you think magic is affiliated with? All magic is connected to Lucifer. Because Tata nZambi, the god of creation, he's not a magician. He has power. His alchemy outrivals any magician in the way he's able to do things. Okay. The god of creation didn't use magic to create the world. He used his power. Magic manifests through the concept of conjuring. This is why Lucifer is a conjurer. He conjures things through the power that he steals from us. This is how he gets the power. And he has incantations, and he does sorcery. He has a lot of different ways to manipulate your mind. Okay. So now when we look at what happened with Yona, we go back. He fled, and he said, from the presence of Tata nZambi, and went to Joppa, and he found the ship going to Tarsus, so he paid the ferry. So he found the ship. Everything. This is why people don't even know the Flying Dutchman is a ship. It's connected to ancient Babylonian historical records. Okay. That's why they put that ship in the movie 10,000 BC. The name Dutch is actually affiliated with Nimrod. Okay. That's why you hear, like when Mr. Miyagi said, when they got in his stance, he said Kim Dutch. Okay, Kim and Dutch, those two names, because I know people named Kim, has historical backgrounds to Mesopotamian thing. If you look at the word Kimberly or Kim, okay, let's look at it. That's why you have Kim Kardashian and all these people. See, they don't just name people names for nothing, people, especially in this world. It comes from the Danish, Swedish, Norwegian, Finnish, also connected to Vietnamese, the Silla, Korean. You see the Silla Kingdom. Now remember, everything was, there's all about fishing. Now, let's talk about Yonah and his trip to, now we're going to look at the Babylonian gods as he went to Yonah, as he went to, okay, you're going to have this one. We're going to have this one. Now, you see the word S-I-N? This is why I'm going to tell you why they combine the two words. This is where you get the word Shinar. You see the original name? Mm-hmm. They know what it is. This is where this is, because if you're affiliated with sin, it means that you're doing wickedness like the Babylonians with this God. That's why we called him Messiah Masindisi, because he came to destroy the connection that was going. He came to destroy the wickedness through the Babylonian system. Now you're going to see he stole. Remember, he said there's. This is why you heard people call the Il Nana, or Il means bad. The bad number 8. Then you have the Umbote Nana. Who's the Umbote Nana? Oh, that's the guy of Aban Sakayukubi, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So when we look at, and I just showed you the map, is that going to be the god of Edom? Is that going to be the god of Ashkenaz? Is that going to be the god of Tarshish? Is that going to be the god of any of the other Hamitic tribes or descendants of Ismaili when they were remember Ishmael after what happened? Is this guy going to be affiliated with any paganism? No. This is where the historical record is being messed with, because how many times do we have to battle these people, these jokers? Okay. Now, when we look at, now listen to this. This is how you know that there's a connection here with Islam. Sin was represented by a crescent moon. Now, if you go into witchcraft and sorcery, you'll learn and you'll know that witches always like to do the crescent moon is when or what they call the waning crescent moon is when they begin to do their spell casting. Now watch this. On the horns of a great bull, indicating that he was also the god of rise of waters, cattle, herders, and fertility. His consort was Ningal, the goddess of reed. Reed, okay? This was an ancient Sumerian goddess of reed, but her cult survived until the rise of Babylon. Okay, I'm going to show you how they did a play on words. Let's go mingle with some people today. That's the same. That's why you go mingling. Or we're going to go mingle. Was the consort and the god of the moon and the cattle. She was a beloved goddess worshipped by the city of Ur. Now, you're going to see the name, okay? Her name means queen or great lady. So if you were a Babylonian queen, so when you mingle, your queen, that's why you're going looking for a queen or king, okay? Now watch this. She was a daughter of Enki, and this in her sect, we sadly do not know much about, except that she may have also been worshipped by the cattle herders and southern. Now this is a lie. They know all about her. The people, I'm telling you, this is the trick, because she's still being worshipped today, by the way. We'll leave it at that. It probably was labeled by the goddess of reeds. She plants to grow along marsh and riverbanks. Okay, we have this god. Now then we have this one. He's a god that predates the Babylonian era. Oh, well, could that be because he goes all the way back to the time when Lily left Adama? Remember her name. This is how you're going to find out they're lying to people. Is this? This is her. Okay. If you'll notice, oh, she got bird feet. She got wings. So that means she's a what? A transformer, shapeshifter of some kind. And here goes your owl, and there go your lions sitting on top of them. The two lions. Okay? This is known as an ancient Sumerian goddess of war, sex, and fertility. In the Akkadian pantheon, she was known as Isthr and was the primary deity of the king. She believed that she was the daughter. Now watch this. You see how she gonna play the game? She was believed to be she was the daughter of Sin, the moon god. Oh, we're going to Apollo is going to the moon. Apollo, remember, is another name for Tammuz. In ancient times, he was also served with different possessions and with different possessions that humans would gather at the end of the good year, like meats, grain, and wool. And this is what they now call the harvest festival. In the cultures, she was a goddess of thunderstorm and rain. Oh, wait a minute. Mother Nature. She was represented as fertility, optimized growth, fertility with youth, beauty. Oh yeah, you go to the beauty store, you go get looking good, okay? Makeup. Why do you think the people are obsessed with getting younger? Okay, it's very hard to find a unifying aspect that was celebrated in it now, but this is a lie. Why did I tell you that? You go back to Miss Cheryl Two Feathers. I'll pray. I'll go with nZambi. She hooked it up. Watch this. Let's go to her site again. All right, so Miss Shirley Two Feathers, she's gonna put it together for you, and you're gonna see these names right here. It's a lie. That's why I say you gotta go deeper. All right. Where do we see her? Okay, so you see these names again. The 14th. So it said on these days they have every day, everything. See, every day they had a celebration of these gods. How do we know that matches the satanic calendar, by the way? It also is connected to many things that are actually done on your calendars now, even in the Gregorian calendar is all counting with these numbers as well. All right, so now you know that she got, and this is how you know they're lying. You're going to see she has a holiday on the 6th month, which they call, and she is affiliated with the Virgo. Oh, she's a virgin of my foot. Okay. So the 6th month, if you start in the spring, so they're going to show you the equivalent of this is March and April is what we're talking about. So technically, This is why you know they lying to the Christians about this coming Easter. Okay, this is now going to be a genuine pagan holiday. According to this calendar, you're going to see the month is beginning is Bel. That is a lizard god. Look at this. Who this is? The sign is Aries. Who was Wonder Woman fighting in the movie? The god of war. The equivalent of him in Rome is Mars. You think that these people aren't messing with your head? Mama Wata is Wonder Woman. But no, you don't know that. No. Okay. That's the issue here. They made everything disappear because they know that the kingdom of Kongo de Totala in the historical record before you know this was the only kingdom that was able to actually defeat this kingdom with the Most High and control it and get these spirits to do what they wanted through Tata nZambi. Our kingdom was over. They had the ability through the Most High, like he says, he controls all spirits. Okay, he's all powerful. The God of creation is all powerful, controller all spirits, meaning that we could defeat these spirits no problem with the Most High. Just like what happened with Xerxes and those things. Now, when we look at Samson and we look at the Philistines, okay, there is a deity. I don't mean to go too long, but we need to understand that this is all part of, and many, you have to remember, many of these jokers were black, especially him. I'll even pull them up for you. Now people are gonna say, "Oh, it's just a drawing." Yeah, they wouldn't know what they look like if they're gonna. Okay. Where's the other pictures? There we go. But there's more of them. I want the whole host. Where's the bigger one? Hold on. Where is the bigger? Where is that other one? Okay, so now when you pull up this image, this is where they say this is serious. Okay, this is ANU, the heavenly one. This is what I'd. How do you know that this is affiliated with Roman stuff? What is the Ides of March? That's where this comes from. The Princess of Serpent, Draconian race is what they're calling this person. Okay. I have actually encountered this Joker, this one here. Yep. All right. So now, oh, here we go. This is the picture I wanted. All right. This one with the earrings is in INNA. All right, so you see, these are all the black gods. Guess what? They are now redrawn as all the white gods in Rome. Okay. This one in the middle, this one here, is what they call Jupiter or Jehovah. Okay. This would be Enlil, and he is the false Yahweh. Oh, but he's black though. Okay. Jupiter is white. Uh-huh. Why do you think? And no, okay, here's the one you want to now call her. His name is Hermes. Okay. I don't remember all of these names, but I know. Okay. Now they are under the waters. And when you go to all praises, Ken Wata nZambi, they are all affiliated with them. And these were the gods of Babylon, ancient Babylon, by the way, when Nimrod was king. All right. So when we go back to the names, so when we go back to the scripture, and Patatanza sent out a great wind in the sea, and there was a mighty tempest in the sea, so that the ship was like to be broken. So this is why we're trying to tell people. This is how I can tell you that the Christians aren't talking to the Most High. Because take a look at what he did. He sent him to go talk to some people. He decided, I'm not going, and the Most High broke up his ship. This is why we say, you know, there's no, that's why we said our people were kicked out of this land, because when we would keep messing up and tell the Most High, no, we're not going to obey his law, statutes, and commandments, you have to understand. And they say, oh, but the God of the Old Testament is this evil God. There's a mixing of it, because technically, this is who the Jewish people, or even other nations. This is Buddha as well. Okay. This is you look at the main deities of all the religions. This is him, and this is his wife. Now, he was meant by her to replace Adama ya Kongo, who said, kick rocks. When she said, I'm out of here, I'm not going to be your consort. Okay. Mama Ava came out of this. That's why I tell people, man, look, they were black. Okay, Adama, they even have now, I showed them the picture that I did the song, the genetic DNA coding. They said that when they pulled all the genetic coding, they said the original Adam would have been a black man. Well, the world doesn't want to accept that. The reason why they're not telling the truth is because of these two. These jokers, this is your Wizard of Oz, and this is the witch. This is why they put them in the movie The Wiz. This is Simon the Sorcerer, and this is his consort. She is the bride of, this is when they do the whole thing about the bride of the devil. Okay, now people will say, but she's black. Well, how are you going to keep talking about black people so bad? I said, look, You don't understand, okay? They used what they want to call, now this is what I'm going to show you how they did it. The brother and I broke it down. The Aryan race is connected to the name Ariel, the Little Mermaid. Who were the mermaids? Okay. You see how the white people say, oh, you turned her black. Well, this is her. She is black. Okay. Technically, this is her right here. This is the king of Atlantis, and this is the queen, and all of these others here. Okay. This is the one that had the tablets of emerald tablets that was given to him by Lucifer, when he gave him the cube knowledge, the watchers, and he took this and started to make creatures that the Most High was ticked about. Like, man, you out here making craziness. Okay. These are also affiliated with when the 7 sisters of Cain went up to the watchers and created the giants and the Nephilim. When King Kongo cursed them, they went to war with the Nephilim. That's why when I told you I had the book where it was called Rise of the Anakim, they were looking for where the tablets ended up, and that was part of the reason why when we got involved, the Bakongo people, the nZambi, Yosefu, or Yokubi, he played a role in getting them to stop doing the wickedness, because remember, we were the people who controlled them. Esau was also involved because he went after the Babylonian king, Nimrod, and his during that time, because the Tata nZambi was saying the Nephilim cannot be, because they were an abomination. So how we became a problem for the other tribes is many of these tribes would worship these deities as gods. So then for us to come after them, that was a problem. Hide us from the Bantu people. No, don't let them come find us. Okay. I'm telling you, we fought the giants. They knew that Tata nZambi would come down and jack them up. Okay. So what happened is when they covered up the history of why are the doors in the churches so big, because of them. This is why the doors in the churches in Rome are so big. They said, oh, we have these giants walking around. Yeah, because these entities are over 9 feet tall or more. Okay. This is why you see, when you look at the tallest people in Africa have connections to the height of these fallen ones. Okay. I have now seen the pictures. They say, oh yeah, the alien, these are your spaceships flying around. Okay. These are your what do you call it, technology. Okay. Especially him. But we were smarter than them. This is the problem. But they're not telling the truth. The Bana Betu of nZolele, the Bakongo people, our wisdom and our knowledge was better than theirs because we had all the good knowledge. Remember, I talked about the Inti Yapomi was in the. See, this is the one with the poison apple that made Snow White eat the poison apple, go to sleep. It was mocking, like they say, Lucy, Mama Awa. she's the one that was jealous of Mama Awa in the Book of Lily. Okay. Do you notice that some of them resemble the image and likeness of Tata nZambi? Because you can see how he could be easily mistaken for Yesiah. And the people say, "Oh, but that's just a drawing." I said, "I'm telling you, they're drawing this from the people who know what they look like. They didn't just make this out of their own. Like I said, this is Yahweh. That's why I said there's Yahweh Kongo and then there's Yahweh Ball, and he's the one that pretends to be the fake Kongo. This is who all of these entities were spiritually inside Simon Magus when he started doing his magic. Okay. Now, when we go to, you see here, it said Lord Inky. That's what you mean when you say Lord God. People don't even know. Okay. Um, when they would come among us, and this is the issue. See, you're gonna even see the Vatican with the fish god. Okay. When you look at the one of these is one of these is DAGON. I'm trying to remember. I think it's which one is it? I think it's him. I could be wrong. One of them is DAGON. No, I think it's him. Yeah, he's DAGAN. Okay. I believe she's Sophia. Right. One of these is Sophia. You see the helmet she got on her head? This is where Wonder Woman. You see the helmet thing? This is where the Greeks and then the Romans started to get the helmet. Okay. See, I tell people, man, these are some deceivers, boy. You don't even know. And they can be any race, they can look like anybody. Okay. Um, this is when they put them in the movie Transformers. They're switching their heads around. You see this here? This is in the cartoon when they had the heads go flipping. Okay, that's that. And see, you're gonna see it called. This is actually the original. This is the original Zeus. Actually, no. This is what is his name with the wings? Icarus. Now, when you write with the ink pen, that's where they say what. The who, what, when, where, why, how all comes from them. Now, you see, this is called the Atlantis Project. This is why they say Atlantis rising. Sorry, okay. So you see, this is the original. You see that in his hand, the club. This is how they know. He taught them when they were hunting. You know, you club animals, you kill them, you spike them. Okay, they got it from him. This is the club. All right. So now, when the mariners But then the mariners, remember this is called the Marine Kingdom. Now you're going to see why you call people the Marines. Were afraid and cried every man unto his God, and cast forth the wares that there were in the ship in the sea to lighten it. But Jonah was gone down to the sides of the ship, and he lay and was fast asleep. Now see, he's on the ship with these people. Tata nZambi comes and he crushes the ship, and they start praying to who? Who do they start praying to? They're not praying to the Most High. It said they're each praying to his gods. Okay. So there's a difference. So the shipmaster came in and said, "What meanest thou, sleeper? Arise, call upon." So he's saying, our gods aren't answering us. Call your God. You see what happened there? They started calling out to the other gods, and they did not get an answer. So they say, "Hey, you call your God." Okay. So be that the God will think upon us that we should not perish not. Okay. And here he said to his fellow, "Come, let us cast lots." This is casting lots. It's still something that you do today. Who is this coming from? Do you see? This is a pagan thing, casting lots. This is the lottery, actually. Casting lots. This is how they do the draft. We're casting lots. This is how you do the when you go to Sin City. That's what the machines are running off for. The slot machine, casting lots. It's all part of it, that we may know whose causes the evil upon us. So they cast lots, and the lot fell upon Jonah. And they said unto him, "Tell us, we pray thee, for whose cause this evil upon us?" So they're calling it evil that the ship is broken apart, right? "What is thine occupation, and whence comest thou? And what is thy country? And what people art thou?" Now, of course, they're going to put this word is actually Phoenician, because we don't know Hebrew. And he said unto them, "I am Bantu." He would have said, Abantwe. That's what he would have really said, Abantwe. Or he would have said like Bakongo, Bayuda. And he feared Mfumu, the God of heaven. Now he says, "And I fear the Mfumu, the God of heaven, which has made the sea and the dry land." Now here's the problem. They worshiping the same gods that they think made the sea and the dry land, but they prayed, they crawled out unto them, nothing happened. But now he says, "I worship the God." Okay. Then were the men exceedingly afraid and said to him, "Why hast thou done this?" So the fear came upon the fact that his God, which is our God, okay, did this, and they're afraid. Whoa, okay. So then they're saying our God is better than theirs. This is a significant part of why you have 500 years of lies. Okay. As you can see, you go to all these religions and they're praying unto their gods. How long did it take to get an answer? What are they talking about? What are they doing? See, now watch this. This is how you know that Christianity is not talking to the Most High. Watch this. For the man I knew that he fled from the present, for the man who knew that he fled from the presence of the Mfumu, because he had told them. Then he said unto them, "What shall we do unto thee that the sea may calm unto us?" Now let's go back to Isaiah, from the real Messiah, who said, "Peace be still on the sea," the calming. How do you do that? You had to be connected to the one who created the sea. to command it to do what you want. Okay. For the sea rocked and was tempestuous. Okay. How many times have you seen sailors go out? I mean, you even seen the movie called The Perfect Storm. These people were fishermen. They go out to sea, hurricane. Oh my God! This is the tempest. Look at how rough the water is. Now watch what's going to happen. And he said unto them, "Take me up and cast me forth into the sea, so that so that the sea shall be calm unto you. For I know that for my sake this great tempest is upon you." So he literally tells them, "Go throw me in the water, and the sea will stop." Okay? How many people would jump out of the boat and say the sea is rough? Hey, the sea is calm. Wherefore thy cry unto the woman said, We beseech thee, woman, we beseech thee, let us not perish. Now see, what did they start to do? They started to cry out to Tata, the Most High. Oh, but what were they doing before that? They were crying to their gods. Okay? Let us not perish for this man's life, and lay not upon the innocent blood, for thou and whom hast done it pleased thee. So they took up Jonah, cast him forth in the sea, and the sea ceased from raging. Right, boom, right there. The sea just went like glass. Okay, no more storm, no more tempest. Right after the prayer, they throw Jonah in the water, and the sea stops raging. Then the men, okay, then the men feared the Mfumu exceedingly and offered a sacrifice unto the Mfumu and made vows. So here you have, now let's go back up to where we were. Watch this. They were all just praying to the gods. Remember, Tarshish was Japheth. Remember that. Tarshish is Japheth, Yapeta. That's where he's going. And they came from where? Where did they come from? They came from Kush, Africa, black down there. By okay. Now he said they, like I said, they were casting lots, they were calling upon their gods, and nothing happened. The sea was still rough. Who commands the sea is the one that they know is the true God. You got the Christians out here saying, "Oh yeah, we know this God." Okay, you on the people go out on these cruises, and I know in the Caribbean they have the rough waves. If you go down there, I know the people listening to me. Africa, you have the rough waves. Around Asia, you have the rough waves. You have the rogue waves. You have all of these rough sea. How many times you go to say, Jesus, calm the sea? Did it? Okay. They're crying, the water's gonna, we're praying. Okay. I'm gonna tell you a story that I know that it's a lie what they're doing. When I went, I went to Africa, and I experienced all the experience of getting the power and knowing the truth and the connections to the Tata nZambi. this is how I know the right God. I was concerned. The one I told you, I said the one that told me go buy the go buy your staff that they were selling in the market. The guy was selling. I wasn't even going to buy it. I said, I don't think I have enough of the Kwanzaa, which is what the money is. I don't have enough Kwanzaa for that. Tell him Masa was translating. Tell him I don't have enough Kwanzaa. But then something said buy it. I said, okay, I'm gonna buy it. When I got to the airport, it was Elder Mello who took me. All praises. Um, I said my goodbyes. The line was long. I got in line. I remember Papa Kitoko said to put on the perfume when you travel. He told me, they said that when you go, make sure you put your perfume on when you travel. I don't know why he told me that, but I did. Um, I put it on. Lo and behold, I get to the front of the line. I get there. This person come up to me. Are you hurt? You need to come to the front of the line and okay, you can't be standing like this. He could actually speak English, which was helpful because you know they didn't speak Portuguese. I said, okay. So they moved me up. I checked in right away. Now it was frustrating because I hadn't eaten anything. I was hungry a little bit, but I went and I bought something. And you know how they have those when there's no tax, you can't open the seal and all that till you get to a certain place. I cheated. Don't think I did it. I had some food. I got in and see the problem was you go through customs. Remember, you have to get checked out. This guy put me through trucks. I went through customs like that. I said, you ain't checking what I got, nothing in here, nothing. It was all good. I get to Germany, and this lady gonna read me the riot act. Well, did you get anything from this and that? And I thought she was gonna start asking some questions, right? Oh, have a nice day, Mr. Bailey. Okay. I walked through. Now, this is the truth, man. We got in the plane. We start off, the pilot says, we're not going to get much chop going back home. This is why I know. I said, something is going on around Greenland. I don't know what these people are doing. Now I learned the truth about the wind and everything that they lied about. All of a sudden, man, it was like, because the problem was, and the Most High was saying this, the Manda was saying, you got to remember now, I'm around people that are different than me as far as spirituality goes because I had just gone through the cleansing. See, even when I left Angola, the people there were really nice and we had a nice conversation. They wanted me to come back, asked me, when you coming back? I said, I didn't know. Okay. And I got on the plane. The guy said, we're going to have a nice, it won't be it's like 11 hours, 9 hours flight back to Denver. It's 9 hours, something like that. Because I think it's 10 hours going. Yeah, because you lose time coming back, but So then we get over the flight, and all of a sudden, man, this plane starts rocking pretty decent. When I was a young kid, I used to love it. And that was like, man, because see, the problem is I don't mind flying, but when you now understand that you got people that have issues with you, and you hear the stories about people, the plane getting taken down, and you hear the stories about what happens to, when I listened to the guy that was from the what was it called him? He was the rapper for um, the S1W. Yeah, Professor Griff. I was listening to his video one time. He's talking about this stuff, and I was like, okay, here I am. First of all, they fought. Lucifer fought with me to go to Africa. I said, I'm coming back to America. I have had interaction with a Tokwis Kimbanguist spiritual person, and even people were saying to me I look different when I came back. So now here it goes. We over the air. Man, this plane, it's like they started saying like this. We can't even serve food right now. The pilot, even he said, I'm climbing. I don't know how much high I could climb. I started praying. I kid you not. I heard people praying, but I started praying. The monitor said, we got it. Lo and behold, I started praying, and all of a sudden, it got calm enough for them to start serving the food. Okay. They tried again a little bit later, but then it was, they're going to serve food again. And we get closer over Canada, coming down in there, we hit some chop. They tried to, I think it got a little rough, but I prayed again and it was like, it got smoothed out. Okay. I'm telling you, it wasn't like I had to wait, like, oh, wow, praying, praying, praying. No, it was like right after I did the prayer, the plane was like, I mean, it was bucking, and then all of a sudden it just went shh, like smooth. I was like, whoa. I mean, I could actually probably get some sleep now, you know? But it was like, it was almost like they knew, it was almost like I had a sense. I said, and then the spirit said, relax. It's going to be calm. You're going to be fine. Don't worry about this. Because I'm telling you, I knew it was some serious, and I know people who've been on these planes that has some turbulence lately. I know they didn't expect it because when I asked the lady after we were done, she said, we were scared. That's what she said. And she's a flight attendant now and they fly all the time. And she coming from Germany, she's like, oh yeah, I looked at the matter of fact, one of the times she walked down the aisle, she had like fear on her face, like, we don't know why this is happening. I mean, I know at one time it kind of dropped a little bit and he was fighting it to get it up. Okay. I took pilot training. Okay. So I know about turbulence. I've done aircraft stuff. I know about planes. And I said, yeah, I said, I thought, well, maybe because there was a hurricane that was coming up, that was the remnants of it that come up from Louisiana. It was coming towards New York. I thought, well, maybe it's the remnant. But the guy said, no, he said that hurricane was way too far off to have an effect on us. And I said, okay. But they said, yeah, I asked her, I said, did you expect that? She said, no. She said that was the pilot had even gotten the forecast, and it was like, so it was like it was almost felt like because of I was on the plane. I kept wondering to myself, I said, I wonder if I didn't get on that plane, if it would have been an easier flight for them. Because I knew the spiritual warfare that was going on if this guy's coming back to America. Because I knew this, because remember, the spirits, they can sense different people. And it was almost like one of them must have run and said, hey, we got this guy coming over we got this guy coming into America. We can't have this, we got to do something. And they actually, Tata nZambi said, yeah, he said they really did try. It was almost like the movie, what do you call it? The one where they had the turbulence when they said the weather caused it. They said, oh, a chance of crashing is like a turbulence is 1 out of 1 billion or something like, oh, this is one of them, it was on that day after tomorrow. And I sat there, I was like, it wasn't as bad as that, but it was close. I mean, he literally said, look, he said, I'm not taking off the seatbelt sign for a while. He said, just, and then next thing I know, he had just said that. And I was praying, and next thing you know, the seatbelt sign went off. And I was like, didn't he just say that they weren't gonna take the seatbelt sign off? That we weren't gonna have the seatbelt sign on? And I was shocked because I had to go to the bathroom at the time. Okay. And that's why I told people, I'm like, that plane started correcting itself as we got in closer. Like I know Denver, you get chopped when you get in there all the time, but you know, that's just normal. I remember every time you hit the Rocky Mountains, it's like expect a drop. Okay. Because of that how that wind comes off. But it was like, yeah, I talked to the lady and she said, no, we did not expect it. But see, after the prayer, they were even able to serve when they had said the lady even came over, she says, ladies and gentlemen, we're sorry, but we're gonna need to suspend service on the tray. Okay. So after I started praying, they said, oh, ladies and gentlemen, we will now resume serving the meal because they were going to suspend it because they said it's too bumpy. We can't get it. We can't. It's rolling too bad. It's like and this is a big plane, people. We're in the Airbus. What was it? Is Lufthansa, the big Lufthansa plane, and that's why I was like, wow. And like I told people, I said, this scripture, when I read it, when he said, throw me in the water and it'll calm down, it was like, other people was praying, and it's like, then I started to pray. The next thing I know, I said, oh, I could sense in the spirit, it's like, it's going to be fine. We got it. And it's like it smoothed out. It really did. You see? And that's when I said to myself, I said, now that's kind of the proof that many people don't know what they're praying to, because when you look at what America comes from and what the spirit of America is, as people will soon find out, it's very much a hypnotic voice of the siren. When you are in the wrong, when you're worshiping the wrong God, this is why you're going to be in this. They have her everywhere. People don't even know. That's the problem why Tata nZambi said we went away from the Most High because of them doing their sorcery, speaking in our ear, and it's still happening. Okay, that's why they say, "Oh, these are the people talking about. Oh, it's the white people." No, no. These entities can literally pretend to be us. That's why I said to people, "Who was Toko and Kimbangu fighting against these beings?" It wasn't because, see, like Tata nZambi said, it's not the spirit, it's not the flesh, it's the spirit. So whatever these people believe in the spirit is what they become. That's why I told people it's not so much about white supremacy, which I'm not, like I said, I don't have a hatred of white people like people want to think. But what I have a hatred of is being lied to. For people going to sit there and tell me all my life these things that they were talking about and then come to find out it was not true. Okay, that's the issue I have, because that's what these people are telling people. And it's because they know that their power comes from the gods of these realms who need us to continue to disobey the creator. They know they get paid more when they are in causing our disobedience, just like what happened in the scriptures. When they caused us to disobey the Most High, Lucifer gets paid. That's the wages of sin is death. That's why it's important not to show people the difference between real prayer and the magician. Like I said, you have had this magician that's putting people on spells. Look at this. Look at the Mesopotamian god, what they called him. And they prayed to these gods. All over the world by different names, they prayed to these gods. They knew that our God, he could get it done like that. Get these people with spirits under control. That's why now it's a problem. You see, the way the world is shifting is because we're praying now. Like I told a brother, they start praying to Kongo. You start getting to Kongo, you start getting into the language. I told him these entities know that this language destroys their kingdom. That's why they have people speaking Kikongo speaking out against us. In the world, I said that's why you can't tell people about languages and how which one is the best and which one's the worst, because these spirits are in their ear and they don't even know. I kicked out Jezebel. Yeah, really? Are you sure? But see, look what's going on with your children. Let me put it to you like this. When you have the Mwanda and you see children running around, when you speak, that the spirit in them will stop. This commands them. It's just like what I just told you. Hey, you're going to command the attention of the spirit that's keeping that child running around, because that's why in Christianity, they only want you to see the flesh. But see, when you say you command the spirit, you don't have to tell your child 2, 3, 4 times to stop. They're going to see the presence of the Most High inside of you. That's how you know we have been given a false interpretation, because, you know, the fear of our God is what stopped it. And you got to remember, one of these gods that they're praying to is Jupiter, is Zeus at this time. One of them was him. And I mean, the god of the sea and everything. You see, that's one of the reasons why they don't want us to know who we are, because then their spirituality will be exposed. You will expose them. You literally will. That's why it says have no uh uh what is the have no skipping my mind. Have nothing to do with the deeds of wickedness, but rather expose them. That's the problem. If you are working with people who are really wicked, pretending to be good, you can't expose that person because you won't see it. If you're listening to a hypocrite, how can you expose the spirit if you are learning how to do things from a hypocrite? That's the concept. When you have nothing to do but rather expose them, when you are in the right spirit of the person, of the Most High, and spirit and truth, and you're really working in the Manda, you would. That's why the Christianity and Islam and other people are getting mad at you, because now you made it make sense, but still they're going to say you're wrong. That's the stiff-neckedness of what they call the donkey god. Oh, if I stop calling on JC, something bad is going to happen to me. The only thing that's going to happen to you that's going to be bad, when you actually use the right names, like these fishermen did. Nothing was happening until I started calling on your God. Now something started to happen. And then they wanted to make offering. Okay. That makes, don't think that don't make the devil mad. You switched it. Oh, what? Now the offering goes to the real creator and not me? Because all these other gods that they're praying to are under his kingdom. You see, I can vouch for the fact that I know this is true. Because when I started actually helping our people without going through the sacrifices of all the other gods that these other people pray to and they don't know, it changes the way you're looked at by those who know what you're doing. Like I said, you were taught to do everything but feed the lost sheep and bring them back to their shepherd. That's why when you see what was happening with someone like Kimbango and Toko, that actually started to acknowledge who the sheep were and started to feed them, what happened? Oh, they got mad. They got angry and they hated it. No, you must worship how we worship. And I told you, Simon Toko and Kimbangu came out of the Baptist church, by the way. How many people in the Baptist church are going to sit there and tell me, wait, what? They were Baptist church people and they were actually raising the dead? Yeah. Oh, I got to see that. You got to show me this. You got to show me. That's the whole concept. When you look at the world we were living in the 50s and the 40s and the 60s and the 70s, look at the controversy even in America, South America, the so-called Middle East, all these different places, praying to their gods, okay? Praying to God. And then you're going to have a man that actually prays to the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And he gets the results that you're looking for. Why do you think many of the missionaries and the white people were so mad at them? How dare you show me up? That's how it goes. The fallen angels don't like you to make and them. It's like I said, you made these gods embarrassed in front of their own people. So of course, now it's time for paybacks. When all this time we thought we had it right, nothing was happening. We didn't have this type of stuff happening. Next thing you know, what? How did this happen? Okay. This is the proof. Okay. You go throw somebody in the water when the thing is saying, "Oh, if you, this is here because of me. Throw me in the water. It's gonna calm down." Huh? Remember who is the goddess of the sea? Okay, I was gonna do it real quick. I know I went too long. But this is what we've been fighting with and what we're dealing with for all this time. Okay, let's see if we can get it. Now, see, they put Africa in there on this side, and they're saying it's to the east. But see, the problem is there's different locations and it's actually because they're saying, oh, here we have Afrique and we have Africa and this. Well, where is this? And then they say in America, this is upside down. You see that? There it is. There's America. Let me see this map can pull up. Look at the name. Why do you think they don't want to tell you? Do you see this right here? Um, why is this map Look at the name for Europe at the time. Hispania, Africa. Oh, wait a minute. The map of it placing in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean from the Mundus in 1669. Oh, wait a minute. They're the Caribbean. Something is wrong here. Why is this map showing up in 1669? Published in Amsterdam. Could it be it was still visible? Where did it go? See? So they say. See? So these are the gods. Well, this is when Plato was talking about it. Now, why do you think they don't want you to know? See, it even says during the Hellenistic Jewish philosopher, see, Philo wrote about the destruction of Atlantis and his early into on his On the Eternity of the World as a long pastor, allegedly citing Aristotle's successor, Theophrastus, and the island of Atlantica, which was greater than Africa and Asia, says, and see, it was greater than Africa and Asia, according to them. And one day the night was overwhelmed beneath the sea in consequence of an extraordinary earthquake, and under nation suddenly disappeared of becoming sea, not indeed navigable, but full of gulfs and eddies. Okay, there you go, your Caribbean right there. The theologian Joseph Barber Lightfoot is Native American, noted the passage Clement may possibly refer to some known but hardly accessible land lying without pillars of Hercules, but probably he contemplates some unknown land in the far west beyond the ocean, like the fabled Atlantis of Plato. Now remember, they kind of give you a hint because the Bahamas is called Atlantis. And other early Christian writers wrote about Atlantis, although they had mixed views on whether it once existed or was its untrusted myth of pagan origin. Tertullian believed Atlantis was one of the real was once real, and wrote in the Atlantic once existed, that was equal to the size of Libya or Asia, referring to Plato's geography. The early Christian apologist writer. Now, let me tell you something. This is how you know that you don't have the mantra. The Holy Spirit will tell you where it is and what happened to it. If it was true, you don't have to even guess. You'll know. Okay. Um, See, they're all asking, well, we think it's here, well, we think it's there. I said, wait a minute. Let's go back to these gods that you worship in. Where do you think, where does Poseidon come from? Where does he's in the sea? Okay. All these other gods, Hades and everything. Okay. They called upon these gods when they were in the ancient Greek times, but now all of a sudden, we don't know where the land was that they came from. You see, and this is in 1910, the Russian edition, William Scott. Okay, this looks like this is America, this is Africa, this is Asia. They're putting it right there where the Caribbean, as they say, right there by the Caribbean, down by South America. Okay, How do we know that there's some truth to this? Well, in the Pirates of the Caribbean was they claiming that these people were just seeing things. They called their goddess Calypso. Oh, well, that just happens to be another name for Mama Wata. And you see how the people had the stories. We fought these creatures, and they used to act. There's one that says, "Oh, they wanted to do whatever with the man, and this and that." And oh, they so the point is, why do they want to cover this up? Because they know to validate their existence proves that our ancestors were the ones that could control their kingdom and the power that was existent that was connected to the Egyptians and all the other people, because these gods were affiliated with the different gods. Okay. So the concept is what caused us to go astray, and why don't, like I said, the secret societies, they know, but they're going to keep their mouth shut. Now it's starting to come out. Oh, yeah, okay. I've seen the pictures people are putting on Twitter. They showed one of them that was sitting on somebody's wall. Okay. That was hanging there as they had killed him. So everything that's going on with what's happening on the surface, there's a war going on that you don't know about. The revenge factor, okay? They always wanted revenge against the children of Noka, okay? And they always wanted to turn the revenge against our father and us. So what you don't understand is we are living in the revenge of all of those who hated us because we let them use sweet songs and all these things to bring us away from what we already knew. That's why you're having a hard time explaining this, because the people who know, they're not going to admit it, because they run it. The whole objective, like I said, everything's about Revelation 9:11. They want to see the Bantu people of the nZolele. They want to see the Kongo people end up in the destruction that's coming from the Most High, that they keep lying about. You see? Everything is spiritual, but they're the ones making you think it's not, especially when you go into school. They understand that our spirituality will always contradict theirs, especially for those who can tell that something is not right. When we know we're dealing with something that's off, like the magician's deception, this is why we speak up. But see, that's the whole concept. The magician's going to make you think that the things he tells you is good is right. Then he's going to tell you what's bad is bad. Well, he's all bad, because the whole concept is, if you know the difference between the real creator and the imposter, the jig is up. It exposes everything, because the real Most High Spirit, the real Manda, exposes all of the imposters, including those who don't even know that they have already been tricked and have done things they should not, that don't even know that they realized it. Watch what's going to happen. I have seen this going to become a reality. Okay. I'll play a quick song. I can't get too loud because you know it's late. Um, I don't have the okay. Again, I don't own the rights to it, and it's not for me to redistribute of any kind, and for me to do the. It's not for me to resell it or any way of any kind. See, even talk about how the mother-in-law ruined the Jordan dress. You know, these type of things, boy. We had a lot of history that they covered up. All praises to the nZambi. And like I said, you know, that's why Maya Moana, when he talked about the people who were doing things bad, who was behind that? What spirit is causing this? Where did it come from? When Kimbanga said the same thing, do Christians even know when they see sin, oh, it's all about Lucifer. Yes, he's the god of the sin, but where are these spirits coming from? How do they originate? That's why they don't see how Cain is involved in all this. That's why they don't see what's going on with the people around them, because they're still spiritually blind. The Holy Spirit raises your spiritual blindness to all spirits. You don't understand this. And you get control over all spirits for real. See? And you know things more than you can understand when it comes to the concept of why you didn't know. Masindasi is the high priest. Tata nZambi, his whole earth is the nZolele, or what I call, like I said, the house. Ambo, let me show you something. Watch this. I did this on my thing. That's why I'm telling you people, Mtangu, Kekwenda, and Swali is right. The time is running out. Watch this. House. Embo. House. Embo Yanzambi is the house. That's where the earth is, we call it, when his spirit came down, the Mwanda Yantoto is the Embo Yanzambi. The house. Betu. Bana Betu. nZolele is Embo. The whole earth is the Most High's house. Well, look at it. Is it really being taken care of by those who think they know the Most High? Look at how the pagan mixing has caused this. Look at the land. Look at the way everything's operating. Oh, how can you know? Like I said, when you know the Most High, things will change. Everything will be in its proper order. You can even, like you said, I became, when Jonah dropped in the water and the water stopped, he was the spirit of the Most High. He was the Most High spirit right there. And the water commanded it, the water recognized it. The Most High is in the presence. Let me stop. He controlled all of the spirits in the water. He controlled all of the spirits in the air. Everything calmed down. That's the presence of Tata nZambi. That's the presence of King Kongo. Things will get back in order when your house, that's why I said, when your house is in order, the everything stays balanced. When your house is not in order, it's gonna be rocking. Like the ship is hitting the breakers and all that. Oh wow, what's going on? But see, the problem is we living in the house of chaos, and they don't want to get cast out to get put back in order. That's how you know the Christians don't get it. You casting out demons, this whole place has to be in order, back to where it should look. Oh, the trees and the creation and everything. Why do you think they're saying, oh, climate change is a big problem for us? Okay? Why are they saying that? Because they know who the spirits are that are in front of you, are not honest. Now the Most High going to do exactly like he said. I am going to what? Sorry, if I don't mean to be talking because then the sound on your room. That's why he had this situation happening. He made Hosea take a woman of whoring. Hold on a second. Buton Bubinzas. Ingita, let me expose once again. Did the Most High tell you, Hosea, to take a woman of whoring because the Christians were being disobedient? Did the Most High tell Hosea to take a woman of whoring because he said the Muslims were being disobedient? No. He said, take a woman of whoring because my people, watch this. The word of Mfumu Tata nZambi came to unto Hosea, the son of Bailey. This is, I'm gonna tell you right now, if you put, it's gonna trip you out. Put this R into an L, Bailey. That's my last name. But so if the, Bailey or Belif, or Bailey, the days of Uzziah, Yotam, Ahaz, and Hezekiah, the kings of Yunde, and the days of Yolabu, the son of Yoa, king of Isolele, Israel, remember saying Israel, that's what that means. The beginning of the Ngogo of the Fumu by Hosea, that the nZambi said to Hosea, go take unto thee a wife of whoredoms. So he's telling him to go get a whore. Wait a minute. The Most High telling him to go do something wicked? Huh? He's telling him to go get a woman that's been sleeping with a lot of men. Wait. How can a good God tell him to do this? Watch this. And the Mana and the children of whoredoms, for the land hath committed great whoredom, departing from the Mfumu. You don't understand. This is why you don't get it. If the Most High, the God of creation, he sees you, when he sees a nation that is in whoredom, he's going to say, my land is in whoredom. So then he's going to say it's not pure. There's no, okay. So then you cannot then go and be in another religion saying, oh, we're no longer the whore. We all blessed. What are you talking about? Look at the land. It tells you it's not right. So he went and took Goma. Goma means wisdom, by the way. The daughter of Diblim, which conceived and bare him a son. So this woman, he knew this woman had been with other people, and he still went and had a child with her. And this man is holy. He's Basantu. Okay? And then Fumo said unto him, call his name Yesli. Because remember, I told you we just did the J and all that, where they came from. For yet a little while, I will avenge the blood of Yesli upon the house of Yahoo. Yah, because the who, I'm telling you, is yea. Yea, I'm telling you, there's no who. Okay? And will cause to cease the kingdom of, he said, I will cause to cease the kingdom of the house of nZolele. So therefore, if you are living in a land filled with wickedness, he will cease your existence. You won't exist anymore. That's how you know you cannot possibly say, oh, we're in a religion called Christianity with all of these bad things happening around you. And he's going to sit there and say, oh, everything's fine. Oh, you guys are doing okay. Oh, I love all the Christians. When he kicked us out of his land, he said, you will no longer exist. That's why we don't remember who we are. Why you think you got an identity problem now? Because when we went after these wicked kingdoms, again, in how he sees them, when we went from the kingdom of the crowns to the kingdom of the halos again, the kingdom of Kongo, the Intotila, ceased to exist. That's why the world is in the chaos that is in, the whole earth is under whoredom. That's why they don't understand this, because they're under the what? She's singing to you, the harlot is singing. Ah. Beautiful voice. Ah. You can see them singing on TV. Okay, beautiful voice, singing, and you think it's always a good angel. No, she can be so the most beautiful woman. Yes, I love you all. Beautiful woman. But then you go see the spirit behind them. Oh, what is that? It's going to happen. You're now going to see that they are not who they say they are. Their whole system's going to come off, and you're going to say, oh, what did we do? It's happening. So he says, and she conceived again. So this is how you know, okay, just to give you an example of, you see all the people that's going on in Israel right now. Based upon this scripture right here, he would have kicked all of those people out of there. Because you see what's going on, right? Oh, these are the Jews. Huh? They need to get out of here. Look at the wicked. Look what they're doing here. Look what they're doing. Get up out of here. Cease to exist. Cease to exist. He wouldn't tolerate the stuff that they're doing if that was his people in their place. Get up out of here. Watch this. And she conceived again and bare a daughter, and Tata nZambi said, call her name Loluhama. It's Loluhama, for I will no more have mercy. I will no more. Oh, God is always about mercy and love. Oh, look at this right here. He said, I'm not going to have any more mercy on you guys. Okay, so now you understand why we went through 539 years of butt kicking and disrespect, and our children now out here with no identity of who they are, where they come from, calling on a God that they claim is theirs, but was never ours, when we didn't even need the Christian way, when we already were doing it right, as the Baklistu Abantwe. That's how they know. They took a lot of the other scriptures out. Even the book, the Apocalypse of Abraham, is called non-canonical doctrine, because right there it says at the end of it, the heathens will be punished at the ingathering of his children when it comes to the end of days. Right there in black and white, it says his children will be scattered among the heathen. They will receive punishment as he's bringing them in, and then there will be no more problems. Over. Right there at the end of his, and this is how they knew. They knew we were going back out. They knew the 12 tribes, the kingdom of Kongo, they knew the Most High's people were going back out in the prophecy to the grandfather of Bana. They knew it. So they were well aware what was going to happen. Oh no, think that they don't have no foresight. It's just, no, that doesn't how it works. Whew, you don't even see how many scriptures they have that they understood. And that's why these spirits that people are listening to in their heads now, that's why you see the children running around all crazy, people having problems, homelessness, why America is falling apart, why everything's going around the world, is because you're like the fishermen with Jonah. You're like the fish, you're like those people on the boat with Jonah when the Most High came and smashed it. Call on our God, fix this, come, help. Why is it not getting fixed? Because you're not calling on the right God. Jonah said, oh, I'm calling on my God. It's over. The problem is solved. Boom. problem over, problem solved. The world is not calling on the right God, so you cannot fix it if you're in the house of the wrong God. You cannot fix Satan in the house of Satan. No way. You are being deceived. That's why Kongo said, you cannot do anything to Lucifer in his house. It's not be divided. Now the only way Lucifer's house can fall is if Lucifer is made to fall, make his house fall, which is what's coming. That nZambi is going to turn his house into nothing. The king can destroy his own house, but anybody inside of his house, that's why I said, we cannot destroy Tata nZambi. We cannot destroy the Most High in his house. He is the king of his house. Only the king, but see, the problem is Tata nZambi is above the enemy, so he can go and destroy his house. Over. I'm going to destroy the house of the enemy. It's done. And anybody who's with him is going there. People don't even know, Lucifer, he's our enemy. You don't even know who he looks like, what he looks like. Oh, he's this mad, ugly dragon. What? He's walking around in the flesh every day. And you don't even see him. Because you can't see the devil only in the flesh. You got to see the spirit. If you don't see the spirit, you can't cast it out. If you don't even know what spirit's there, then how do you get rid of it? And what to do to get rid of it? In the name. My wife can vouch for you. And people think we're crazy now and that we worship the devil, because that's what Christians are going to think when you actually do cast out a demon and you didn't use the name Jesus. Oh, but that's Satan. You're still Satan. Wait a minute. Back up. Rewind. Huh? I cast out a demon using the correct names that I know are right, but I'm worshiping the devil. How can that be? What did Messiah say? Lucifer can't cast out Lucifer? Oh no, I think that you're delusional. Oh nope, because I've done it more than once. When I help people, I say, "Hey, that is gone." What? Woman came up to me. Whoa! You see, I don't like to be talking about it like this, but the point is, the Christian world is going to find out if this is the reality, and I've told people this. If you started fixing things like the way the Bible tells you, then who doesn't get paid on Sunday? Who else doesn't get paid in any other jobs that you're having problems with? You will understand at any job you go to what the problem is with the Holy Spirit and how to fix the problem. You don't got to sit there and do a think tank and how do we fix this problem and what do we do and whatever. No, you're going to start getting answers from the Most High. This is how you got to do it. If you don't do it like this, it's going to go like this. Boom. If you don't do it the right way, it's going to go this way, it's going to go that way. That's how it works. You see? I've been on here too long. If you didn't hear the music, I'm really sorry. I don't know what happened with Zoom. It used to be just fine, but something is up. But I'm going to work to find a way to stay on StreamYard. Anyway, Zola Quingy, Sambololo, Inawezi Abe Kongo Kutwala, and Wakanda. I'm telling you, they've already been coding this. They even knew things were happening. Massive changes are on the horizon, people. Ingeta, hallelujah. Oh yeah, and I mean, I saw that video where they were talking about the animals. I'm not saying that it's not. I don't disagree. I have a feeling that they are starting to sense certain things, especially those who are attached to the ground, because it is changing. And get the hallelujah.